What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a banger of a video today, man. I'm gonna go over the 5 things, right? These 5 things you need to do if you wanna be shredded, if you wanna be lean, if you wanna drop body fat percentage. And let's be honest, that's why we're all here. That's why we do the meal prep. That's why we go to the gym. That's why we do everything. We wanna be lean. Now, I know a lot of people out there, right? Myself included, that have been doing these things for years, but maybe not getting the results that you should be getting. And a lot of times, really, we tend to overcomplicate this entire thing. We tend to think that you need this certain supplement or this certain food, or you're not allowed to have carbs. We have all these misconceptions about what it really takes to be shredded. And in the last 3 weeks, I've dropped 23 pounds. Now, a lot of that was BS weight from the beginning of quarantine, drinking alcohol, eating a lot of crap. And I know I'm not the only one that was probably there. Comment below if you put on the quarantine 15, the COVID-19. This last month really has changed my entire perspective, man, on this entire process, this entire fitness thing. So I broke down a list, 5 simple things you gotta do if you wanna be shredded, man. So if you guys are ready to get this epic video underway, then as always, man, I'm here to do it for you. Let's do it! Yeah! I'll give everybody a little pup date. Logan is doing pretty good. How you doing, bad? We have another doctor's appointment on Friday, but basically he'll have an appointment every Friday to get his cast changed, to get his bones checked out, and he's expected to make a full recovery if everything goes well. Now, the crazy thing is, he's still in really good spirits. Like, he wants to play. He wants to do the exact same stuff he did before, and it's a little tough because he wants to jump around and land on his legs. So I gotta try to keep him a little more immobile. That way he doesn't end up hurting himself again. But for the most part, man, the crazy thing about dogs is that he didn't like get the cast and spend any time feeling sorry for himself. He just got right back to business, man. So we can all learn something from dogs. We really can. You can't change what's happened. You can't change the past. All you can do is focus on the future, man. That's the Logan life lesson of the day. Right, bud? Right, bud? All right, I'll get him back to resting with his bones. So the first thing you gotta do if you wanna be shredded and you wanna be lean is cardio. And before you say duh, or before you think that, yeah, that's an obvious one, or before you think it's maybe not necessary, let me just explain what I mean by this, right? Let's use myself for an example now. I've done a lot of diets, and I've done a lot of calorie deficits. I've done a lot of calorie tracking apps. I've done a lot of research, might be the right word, into like what my body needs in order for me to lose weight, right? And if I went by all these calculators and all these equations that tell you your calorie intake, they've always told me that I'll lose weight around like 2,200 calories. And that's if I'm just working out 5 days a week. And I think the problem here is that we all think we're super active when we just go to the gym. We all think that we're just burning all these crazy calories. But in actuality, we are not. How often are you really moving? Think about it. If you factor the gym out and your workouts out, how often are you going for a walk? How often are you going for a hike? How often are you walking your dogs, right? That's probably the most exercise a lot of us get. And it's easy to chalk it up to, well, we're getting older, metabolism slowed down. And you know, to an extent that happens, but like how much were we running when we were kids? How much were we playing, right? We don't play as adults. As adults, our idea of playing is grabbing a video game controller, sitting on the couch, watching Netflix, and just not moving. Maybe moving our thumbs, texting, posting on Instagram. But other than that, how active are we really, right? And myself as an example, my job, you guys see it, literally is me sitting in front of a camera, talking to you guys, editing videos, and in my free time, I play a lot of video games. So other than the gym, I'm not moving a whole lot, man. And that's what I realized here on this last cut. If you watch my little stepper video, the $45 best piece of cardio equipment you can have for your house video, ever since I got that thing, all the excuses I had to not do cardio went out the window. So the first thing I do every single morning is 40 minutes on that stepper. Super easy. I wake up, put a show on Netflix, listen to some music, and crank out 40 minutes. I can average about 5,100 steps in the session. I'm sweating, I'm feeling great, and it starts my day off better than any cup of coffee ever has. And the rest of the day after that, I'm a sedentary dude. I ain't doing a whole lot. The most movement I get is when I'm filming the videos. What I noticed after incorporating that cardio versus only really doing it when I was in a hardcore shred is that when I do it every single day, my body is in fat burning mode, man. I have been eating between 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day and still losing a ton of weight and feeling amazing, man. And in the past with my diets, I really only threw cardio in when I was on like a 12-week program, when I was really trying to get shredded. And I was super miserable the entire time, low on energy, not eating enough calories, not feeding my body enough. Overall, just in a bad spot. But once I started getting that movement in, it made a world of difference, man, a world of difference. I literally see my body change every single day. Like every morning I step on the scale, I'm seeing something new. When I look in the mirror, I'm seeing more striations. I look better without a pump. Like I don't have a pump right now, but there's more definition there, right? So as crazy as it sounds that like you gotta dedicate time to cardio, dedicate time to moving, it is so essential. It is so essential, especially like like if you want to maintain it year round, if you want to be lean year round, you got to do that cardio, man. You got to give your fat a reason to go somewhere. You got to burn it. A lot of people say you do too much cardio, you're going to lose all your muscle. And that is not something I've experienced at all. Not at all this last 4 weeks with suboptimal training at home with just a couple dumbbells. I haven't even been back to the gym yet, man. And I feel like I'm in some of the best shape I've ever been in. And especially mentally, because with the cardio, I get to eat more food. My metabolism's higher. My total daily energy expenditure is higher. So I get to eat more, and I love to eat. So there you go. Number one, cardio or at least some type of movement. Think about it, man. Go for a walk. Grab a jump rope. Do that. Play some basketball. Be active. You want to do that because yes, you can probably get lean without cardio, but you know how little you have to eat and how miserable you're gonna be? I think it's worth the trade-off, man. I'd rather bust my butt and do cardio in the morning and get to eat a ton more all day and still see results than I would without it. And it's good for you, man. Hashtag health. Get that heart a-pumping, bud. The second thing you need to do in order to be shredded, and this should go without saying, but a lot of people, I work with a lot of clients, there's so many misconceptions out there, and I blame it on really the state of the fitness industry. Not that I haven't been guilty of this in the past, because I've fallen for it too, but the second thing you gotta do is eat in a calorie deficit. That's it. How many calories does your body need a day? How many? Eat less than that and you will lose weight. There's no magic diet. It's not that you do keto and you can eat 2,200 calories on keto and 22 calories on a diet with carbs and you're gonna see drastically different results. That's just not how it works. You gotta be in a deficit. The reason these fad diets work is because a lot of them are radical elimination diets. When you go on keto, you can't have carbs anymore. And what's the one food we all have the most trouble with? Typically it's carbs. That's your sweets, that's your breads, that's your pizzas, that's all the stuff that's really fun to eat. So when people go on something like keto, not only are they cooking a lot more, which ultimately when you are cooking for yourself, you have a lot more control over the calories and portions that you're consuming, but you're also cutting out an entire food group. Now I don't knock anybody that does keto. Have fun, man. Eat all the fat you want. I don't care. But I'm the type of guy, I like my food. I like to have a lot of food. If you watch the pizza video I just did, that recipe video, that's been a staple in my diet. That's the closest thing to an actual pizza you're gonna get. I mean, in all things considered, it is a pizza. You can have something like that and still see results, still lose weight. And in order to eat in a calorie deficit, you gotta have some level of accountability, right? You gotta be able to track what you're eating. You gotta at least have a rough idea of what you're eating every single day. And I think a fad diet, something like, let's say a carnivore, right? A lot of people hop into these diets going, okay, all I do is eat meat, okay. They don't wanna weigh anything. They don't wanna track anything. And then they're wondering why they're not seeing results. But like when you're eating too much, when you're eating too many calories, you're not gonna see results. You're not gonna lose fat. It's just not gonna happen, man. The only hard part about eating in a calorie deficit is truly understanding how many calories your body needs. That might take a little experimentation, but it's not that difficult. When I'm doing 40 minutes of cardio a day, I would say if I had to estimate right now based on the way everything's going, my total daily energy expenditure is probably 3,200 calories. If I'm being completely honest, I would assume that's what it is. Now, if you're not doing cardio, maybe you're a little older, maybe you're a little less active, maybe you're only training 3 times a week with no cardio, yours might be 2,400. If you're a woman, significantly lower than that as well. So you have to, and I mean you have to, eat in a calorie deficit. That's it. If you want to lose fat, there's no secret pill, no secret supplement, no secret ab crunch technique you're gonna twist to the side and the fat's just gonna fall off. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't. You gotta eat in a calorie deficit. Boom. That's it. Step 3 to being shredded kind of goes back into what I was just talking about, but you gotta be accountable. And what I mean by that is you got to keep a log of what you're eating and how much you weigh. How do you know if the diet you're on is working if you have no idea what you weigh or it's not accurate, right? So this is the number one thing I would say if you really want to lose fat and really understand your body is every morning when you wake up, use the restroom, don't eat or drink anything, weigh yourself, grab your phone, mark your weigh-in down in MyFitnessPal. That app is a game changer. Not only can you track your food, see your calories for the day, see your macros, there's an easy progress thing. You touch it, put your weight in, and boom, you know what it is. And it even charts it on a graph for you. And you can see the trends, like did a certain food cause you to hold water? Were you up a pound the extra day? What did you change? What did you do different? Did you drink a little more before bed? Did you eat a little too much rice? I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. And I know it sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like something that's gonna take up a lot of time, but it's like anything. You get used to doing it, you just do it, and it just becomes second nature. And I think true freedom, right? True freedom when it comes to food, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to all of this is understanding your body well enough to where you know for a fact that if you did wanna go have that cheat meal, right? You did wanna go out to a restaurant and eat, and you did wanna have like a healthy pizza, right? You know what your body needs. And you know realistically that if you had a cheat day, you can bounce back really quick because you've been keeping track. You know your body. You know how your body's gonna respond and you know what it takes to bounce back, man. When you figure that out, when you figure out how your body works, that's true freedom, man. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Greg Doucette because I've watched a lot of his videos and the way he breaks this stuff down is just so raw and honest. The one thing he said that made me like flip me on my head was about 5 weeks ago, he had this video where he said, if you can only see your top 2 abs, you're not lean, you're fat. But sometimes it takes that like raw honesty in that, just like looking in the mirror and knowing that you've been messing up, knowing that you aren't keeping track, knowing that you aren't being accountable, knowing that you're not doing what's best for you. Sometimes that's what it really takes. And for me, daily weigh-ins and tracking everything is really what keeps me on track, because when I am off track, I notice a trend. I don't like to look in the mirror and I don't like to weigh myself because it's a reminder. But if you wake up every day and it forces you to look at it and examine it, that does something, man. I know people say like, don't be hard on yourself and it's gonna be okay, but I'm not a fan of that, man, because I've done a lot of that and I've gained a lot of weight and I've been in a lot of shitty positions in my own head about my body and about like my responsibility as a creator on this platform. And to be honest, when you just own it and you know you're firing on all cylinders and you know you're doing good, that's when everything's the best, man, especially up here, for sure. Number 4, in order to be shredded, you gotta eat foods that you enjoy. If you're following a diet where you're eating stuff that you don't like, there is no way you can do that long term. Zero chance you will succeed long term. It might last for a few months, you might get 6 months in, but you're gonna rebound on it if you're constantly, if you don't like what you're doing, right? And that's where I talk about the diet I'm on right now. And I know I've said this like 100 times, but I'm being serious right now. This is the best diet I've ever been on because I'm eating things that I love, right? I get to, like the last video, that pizza. I love that thing, man. If it had genitalia, I'd put a ring on it and have kids, I promise. Like the French toast I eat every single morning. My big hot Cheetos tortilla salad that I have. Like, I love these foods. I look forward to eating them. I go to bed at night excited to wake up and eat my French toast. When I was just having eggs and oatmeal, I was not excited to eat that. It felt like a job. But when you eat things that you actually enjoy, right? Things that are high in protein, things that are very voluminous but low in calories, you're gonna feel full, you're gonna make results, and you're gonna like what you're doing. And that is the most important thing, hands down, man. Smart popcorn, holy crap. I was never a popcorn guy until I realized how few calories were in a massive bowl. And you can just sit and eat for 30 minutes and only have 250 calories. So I would recommend, a lot of your favorite YouTubers probably have recipes out there for stuff you like. If there's a food that you're like, man, I love brownies, I love them, I bet if you Google it, you will find a recipe for a protein brownie that you can have. And now it might not be as good as the regular brownie, but when you can cut those calories down into a quarter, add some protein in there, and eat it with none of the guilt or shame, I mean, to me, that's way better. That's way better. Because we've all been there. We've all given into our temptations. You're doing good on your diet for like a week, then you eat something off your plan, causes you to spiral out of control. You wake up that next day, you feel guilty, you weigh more, you look like crap, you feel like crap, and that's a bad spiral. And then you eat more and you eat more. It's like a binge eating problem, man. Coming from someone that has struggled with binge eating forever. Step 4, you gotta enjoy your diet and you gotta eat foods that get you closer to your goal. The two aren't mutually exclusive. They can be married, as you've been seeing. Watch any of my most recent videos or watch any of Dr. Greg's videos. He's a great source of information. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro, baby. Doctor, philanthropist, billionaire model. And the final thing you need to do in order to be shredded, once again, I feel like this one should go without saying, but sometimes you just gotta hear it. You gotta cultivate some discipline. Learn to say no. I work with a lot of clients and I always end up in these situations where we'll be doing good for a week, maybe 2 weeks, whatever. And then I always get that email like, over the weekend, I was invited to this party. They had buffalo wings there and some drinks. Next thing you know, boom, 20 wings deep, 10 beers deep, and now I weigh the same as I weighed when we started. And the thing is, that's really common. I've done it before, for sure. But if you're gonna be successful, you gotta like think ahead about this stuff. You gotta have some discipline, man. You don't gotta just say yes to every question that comes your way. If someone invites you to do something, go do it, but think ahead, okay, like what kind of food's gonna be there? How can I eat? Have I been good all week? Have I done my cardio all week long? Has my diet been perfect all week long? Can I eat a little less today to maybe have some of that later, right? You gotta think about these things. Because at the end of the day, it's energy balance. The amount of calories that are coming in versus the amount of calories that you are burning off. If you eat at a 500 calorie deficit 6 days out of the week, that's 3,000 calories, right, that you burn off. But if you go somewhere on the weekend and you have 20 hot wings, which on average 20 wings is about 2,000 calories, then you wash that down with 10 beers. Let's say a beer is about 110 calories. If you're drinking a Bud Light, you just negated every bit of work you did all week in one meal, if you're not careful. And the thing about food is it's such a temporary pleasure. Like, there's never a meal that I have where I have it and afterwards I might have enjoyed it, I might have thought it was really good. It's never like something that was just like life-changing and groundbreaking, something that could not have absolutely gone without. How many times have you been good all week, you plan for this cheat meal, you obsess around it, you're like, I'm gonna go to this restaurant, I'm gonna order this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. How many times when that meal is done are you ever like, oh, that was worth it, perfectly worth it, ooh, yes, loved it. I can count the amount of times on one hand that that's happened to me. And that's where you can develop these unhealthy mindsets around food. You can develop these eating disorders around it, right? And I've been there, I've done it, man. You can talk to Ankrum if you follow his channel. We had some crazy problems there before he moved, where that was what we were doing every Saturday, and it was a super unhealthy relationship with food, where all I did all week was is obsess over food. And you're not gonna find real success with this if that's the way you view food. And one of my favorite little strategies for this, if I know I'm gonna be eating something or going to a restaurant or gonna be in a weird situation, I'll just adjust my calories for the day to where I know that I'm not eating above maintenance, right? So if maintenance for me right now is 3,200 calories, I'll raise my daily calories to 3,200. And let's say meal one, instead of anabolic French toast, I'll have a big chicken salad, right? 200 calories. Meal two, I might have the exact same thing again or something else low calorie, right? And I'll save up these calories. I'm still eating all day, but I'm creating a little bank of calories. And then right before we leave, I'll eat something very high volume, maybe some Smart Pop, maybe another salad, whatever. Just something really big. That way I kind of show up full. And then beforehand, I'll have been on their website, right? If I want to go to Cheesecake Factory, I know my favorite meal at Cheesecake Factory has 1,440 calories. So if I eat 1,800 calories before I go there, knowing what I'm going to order, boom, we negated a lot of the damage. If you're gonna go to the dinner, then to the movie, and you want maybe a snack at the movie, you want a popcorn. Almost every movie theater has a nutritional guidelines thing you can look up. It'll tell you the calories that are in everything they got, and you can plan ahead, man. Show up with a plan. When you show up starving and unprepared, that's when the bad stuff happens. And ultimately, it boils down to discipline. How bad do you want it? Is a little bit of temporary pleasure worth giving all the hard work all week that you've done up? You gotta ask yourself that, man. So learn to say no, cultivate some discipline. So in summary, the 5 things you need to do to be shredded. 1, move more, whether that's cardio, whether that's being more active. You gotta move. Give your body a reason to burn fat. 2, eat in a calorie deficit. The law of thermodynamics does not lie. You gotta eat less than your body needs in order to use the energy on you as fuel. It's science, man. Trust me, I'm not a doctor. 3, weigh, track, and log your food and weigh yourself and keep track of it. Accountability. 4, enjoy your diet. Eat foods that are beneficial for you. Find healthy alternatives. Enjoy what you do, and it's never gonna feel like work. And number 5, learn to say no, cultivate some discipline. At the end of the day, we all do this to get our bodies in shape. But to be honest, our mind is the one thing we never tend to think about. We don't tend to think about the mental health with all of this and how important it is to cultivate this and sharpen it into a knife, man. Woo, I'm sweaty, man. I feel like I just went on a tangent. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you got any sort of value out of it, smash that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below for Logan. Leave a heart, leave a paw print. He loved the comments in the last video. I read every single one to him. He was a big fan. And if you enjoyed this format of video, let me know down below and I'll muster up some more and I'll put them on the channel ASAP. And if all of this is a little daunting and you would like to have someone create you a meal plan, right? Look over your stats, have you fill out a questionnaire, put your training schedule down, height, weight, gender, all that stuff, and have someone break it all down for you and tell you what you need to eat in order to see results, check out my site, RemingtonJamesFitness.com. I can do just that for you and I promise I'll make it so simple. Literally all you gotta do is follow it. That's it, man. That's it. So thank you guys as always for watching. And until next time, I will see each and every one of you at the next video, baby. Mountain Dew Zero at the end of the video. I love Mountain Dew. It was my weakness, my kryptonite as a child. 0 calories. I have 6 a day. Make that diet work for you, baby. Peace.